kidding. My life was complicated long before I met you. So don't give it another thought. You too. I hope you feel better in the morning. Hey, maybe I'll bring over some breakfast or something, all right? Adios.
Whoever this chick is, she sounds pretty heavy.
How on earth did you get Sierra's wedding ring?
Tonio brought it to me. Darling, he brought it to me. This is real. It's concrete. It's the kind of proof that we've been waiting for.
Lucinda, look, I don't want to play devil's advocate here, but the ring could mean one of two things. Now, either she's alive or...
Don't you think that, all right? This ring has been sent by the underground to me as proof that she is alive, that she's alive, and she's being held by James Stenbeck's men.
Every inch of me wants to believe that, but we both know what Tonio's word is worth.
I think maybe we made a mistake about that man, all right? Maybe Tonio, in his heart, he wants her back as much as we do.
I'm sorry, I can't trust the guy, not with something this important.
Craig, I know it! I know it! I know that she's alive! I know it!
How? Is there something you're not telling me?
I'm glad your cousin Carlos made it there safely, Juanita. No, his call to Lucinda did not have the desired effect, but tonight I delivered the proof that Craig and Lucinda had been asking for. Sierra's wedding ring. You should have seen Lucinda's face when I gave it to her. I'm sure she's been in touch with Craig already. They'll be ready to back the search again very soon. What does it matter how I got hold of it? The important thing is that that ring could make us very rich.
Lila, how's Shannon doing?
Well, she's fell fast asleep, thank goodness.
Well, listen, I know you were talking with Dr. Gunther earlier. Is there any new news?
Well, he and Dr. Samuels are in conference right now.
You know, I gotta tell you, I'm not crazy about this idea of Dr. Samuels going on vacation in the morning.
Well, don't worry about it, because Dr. Gunther is one of the best OBGYN in the state. Don't worry. Now, why don't you go on home and get some rest, because you're not going to be any good to Shannon if you're wiped out.
Lila, listen, I can't go anywhere until I talk to Dr. Samuels. You know, in the middle of everything that happened, there's something I forgot to ask her that could be very important.
Well, maybe it's something I can answer.
Well, earlier today, Duncan and I pretty much had it out at the castle, and Shannon walked in, and I know it upset her. And I'm really worried
Mark, if you're going to ask me whether you're responsible for what happened, forget it. Dr. Samuels told Shannon that she started the contractions because of a physical problem, not because of stress or emotional upset.
Honestly?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, I needed to hear that.
Well, you just get those bad ideas out of your head.
Oh, no.
As the world turns. This portion brought to you today by Spick and Span Liquid. Dissolves dirt on contact so you can get it spick and span fast with Spick and Span Liquid.
Mark, don't start, okay?
I won't, I promise.
Maybe we should leave.
Don't worry, I'll behave. I just want to find out what Shannon's condition is.
Okay.
Evening, Lila.
Hello.
Paddington.
Hi.
How's Shannon?
Well, as I was telling Mark, she's asleep now, and rest is the best thing for her. Oh, there's Dr. Gunther. Excuse me.
Who's Dr. Gunther?
He's taking over for Dr. Samuels. She's going on vacation in the morning.
Why would she leave Shannon now?
Well, I'm sure she wouldn't be leaving if Shannon was in any danger.
Don't worry about it. Lila just reassured me he's one of the best OBGYNs in the state.
Well, as long as he can right whatever's wrong. Listen, Jessica told me that my being here might upset you. I just want to find out what Shannon's condition is. When I do, I'll leave.
It's a public hospital. You're free to stay as long as you like.
Jessica also pointed out that you're the one that's been with Shannon. since the beginning of the pregnancy and supporting and helping. While I've made my views perfectly clear, I reckon that gives you the right to be here, and I'm glad you are, since I can't be.
Thanks. Excuse me.
I'm very proud of you. I know that was difficult.
John sat in while I conferred with Audrey, Lila. We'd like to keep the fetal monitor on Miss O'Hara at least until the morning. Now, if you could notify me if there are any more contractions, I'll be here all night.
All right, is there anything else?
Well, it's too early to do an amnio, but I thought we would run a alpha fetal protein test to check for any chromosomal abnormalities in the fetus. Excuse me.
Okay.
Oh. Listen, I could get a special relief nurse. You could go home and get some rest.
Well, I promised Shannon I'd spend the whole night.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I ever tell you I think you're a pretty terrific nurse?
Oh. Well, you're not such a bad chief of staff yourself. Yeah. I know that Shannon will be very grateful that you stayed and confer with Ron and Audrey. John, I'm worried about you.
Me? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm fine. I'm just fine.
Oh, come on. Talking to Lila here, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I know the separation with Lucinda is paying its toll, but despite everything, you know, you still care about each other. Huh?
Well, I don't know if caring's the right word. I mean, I kind of like to strangle her every time I think of what she did.
Why don't you just go on home, talk things over, and then you can... All right, well, maybe not today, but whenever. Just don't put it off too long.
Yeah.
We both know how quickly things can change.
Yes, well, that's for sure, yes.
Well, if you can't face Lucinda right now, why don't you just go home and get some rest, and I'll call you if there's a change with Shannon, okay?
Okay.
Craig, why don't you just go over to Lucinda's and see if it's Sierra's ring? And that way you'll know. I'll stay here with Kate and Brian till you get back.
You really are amazing.
No, I'm not amazing. I just don't want to see you torture yourself anymore, so please go.
Be back soon.
I missed the first part of it, though.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi, Ben.
Well, we went for a ride, went to the cellar for a bit, and we had some fun.
Where's Craig going?
He went over to Lucinda's for a little while. He'll be back.
You want an iced tea or something?
Yeah, okay.
It is so good to see you smiling for once.
Yeah, well, I wish I could say the same about you. Why do you look so bummed out?
Craig got a call from Lucinda. Tonio gave her Sierra's wedding ring. Said it's been smuggled out of Montega. What if she really is alive, Caleb?
Ellie, I think it's better if you know one way or the other.
Yeah, well, that's not all of it. I had a long conversation with Brock.
What? Ellie.
Caleb, he seemed very sincere. He wanted to tell me about his feelings with Emily, and he said that he wanted the two of us to be friends.
But how could you ever be friends with Brock after what he put you through last September?
Well, I have to believe that underneath that tough exterior is a good person that didn't have a chance to grow because he was thrown into an environment that he didn't want.
Ellie, I don't like you talking like this. Now, the best thing for you and Craig is to cut Brock out of your life altogether.
Don't you think I would do that if it was that simple?
Well, I'm afraid that Craig isn't satisfied. He would like more details, Tonio, about how the ring came into your possession.
Lucinda, I got the ring from my friends in the underground. Now, that's all I can tell you. Now, tell that to Craig. All you two can do is badger me about details, then I'll continue the search on my own and keep the results to myself.
No, darling, don't do that. Tonio, I believe you.
Good. Then try and convince Craig. Of course, he may be so involved with Ellie Snyder at this point that he doesn't want to believe that Sierra is alive, but I believe it. And I know you do, too. I'll call you if I have any more news.
If only I could tell everybody why I know she's alive, why I know.
Mrs. Dixon.
Oh.
Mr. Mason's here.
Hello, darling. What brings you here at this late hour?
Don't you remember?
What? No, what?
We had a date. Coffee and birthday cake at 11 o'clock.
Oh, I forgot. Now I remember. No, I forgot. I'm not dressed at all. What time is it?
It's 10:30. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I've had news. I've had the most wonderful news.
What?
About my daughter. She's alive. Definitely. I know she's being held by, well, you don't know this man. It was a man that was in town. His name is James Stenbeck. By his men.
Stenbeck?
Yeah.
Yes, I've read about him in the papers, but the papers say he's dead, isn't he?
Mr. Montgomery's here.
Hello, darling. Hello. You know Niles, of course. Craig.
Yes, good to see you again.
Good to see you. I've just heard about your wife. Fingers crossed, eh?
Thank you. I'd like to find out why you're so convinced.
Aha. All right, darling. You read what's inside of that. And then you tell me from your heart that you don't think that she's alive.
Sierra. Love always. Craig. It's her ring. It's the ring I gave her.
Well, that should be a cool idea. Hang it here, shoot the breeze for it before we're ready to turn in.
Sure is cool with an inside.
You betcha. Bet you must be psyched to have your mom back, huh? Even though her timing's not too good, huh? Hey, it's a good thing I got to you before she and the doc did. Should get that girl out in time.
Thanks for tipping me off.
No problem. So what's your problem?
What are you talking? Why do you always ask me that? I'm fine.
You know, she's been kind of jittery ever since I made that comment about you sounding heavy on the phone with that girl earlier.
I just don't like having people listen in on my private conversations.
Sure. I mean, I didn't mean to. I was just passing through and couldn't help it over here.
All right, let's drop it, okay?
All right, sure. But I'll tell you, I mean, walking in with you and that girl tonight, I just had the feeling this must have been, all of this must be a real bummer to you.
No, not at all.
No, really. Because when I first met you, I thought, hey, my kid brother, he's kind of an uncomplicated guy. With a girlfriend right out of high school, but now that things haven't been working out with you and Leanne, I just get the feeling I've been cramping your style, so, I'm gonna try.
No, wait a minute, I don't want you to move half, Duke. I mean, what happened tonight's not gonna be a regular thing.
Hmm? I'm not so sure after hearing you on the phone with that girl. Okay, all right, man. I promise I give up. No more comments about the mystery lady.
All right.
Well, I'm so glad that the weather decided to cooperate. I was worried that we were going to have a gray and misty day all day.
No, I wasn't. I knew you'd pull the perfect night out of your magic bag of tricks.
I'm sorry, dear, but my magic doesn't extend to Mother Nature.
Oh, I don't know about that. I bet a few miles from here it's pouring rain. Oh, this has been the most perfect birthday I've ever had.
Oh, I find that hard to believe.
I'm serious. Lucinda would throw these big extravaganzas, invite her clients, hire entertainment, hire kids to come.
What about last year?
A few friends of mine threw me a party.
Yeah, like who?
Kale.
Holden.
No. Holden never showed up. I don't want to talk about the past. I want to talk about the present and the future with you. Lilies are beautiful. The dinner was wonderful.
Ah, that was the easy part. The hard part was getting rid of Dolan. I thought he was going to stay and saw his little heart out all night long. He left you a present, but I'm not going to give it to you until I've given you mine first.
I don't need any presents. Being here with you tonight, that's enough for me, really. Really? I thought there'd be a war when you told Lucinda and Niles they couldn't come.
Well, they're still expected in a half an hour for cake and coffee.
I better call them, give them an official invitation. Well, never got service like this at my house.
It's because I wasn't around.
Mom! Hi, it's me. Yes. You and Niles are coming out for coffee and cake at 11 o'clock, right? What's wrong? What about Sierra?
Yeah, I think you're making excellent progress with this tutor, Bianca.
Well, he's very kind and patient.
And you're a good student. You seem unhappy. You've been very quiet since he left. Is something bothering you? Something about Paul's visit?
I was upset because you said I couldn't see him.
That was for your own protection.
From what?
Bianca, you know that I've had some more threats from the Montagan assassins. That's why Mr. Walters has been sleeping on the couch at night.
I don't understand that. I thought we were safe in America.
I'm afraid not. It's not only in Montega that people live in fear.
Why do you not call the police?
Because I don't want to get them involved.
2 minutes. I want to talk to him. No, I can't. I want to talk to him.
What's going on? Call this goon off. It's all right, Walters. It's all right. What are you doing here, Craig? It's almost 11 o'clock.
I want to know the whole story of how this got off Sierra's finger and into your pocket. And I'm not leaving until I get it.
All right, Walters, you can wait outside. Come in, Craig.
I'll be out here if you need me.
All right. Bianca, it's getting late. Why don't you get ready for bed? We can continue our talk in the morning, all right?
All right. Buenas noches, señor Montgomery.
Good night, Bianca.
Good night.
Good night.
Craig, I told Lucinda everything that
That's
I
not
could.
good enough. Now, how did this ring come into your possession?
You know I can't disclose names.
I am sick of those excuses, Tonio.
Do you have any concept of how dangerous it is?
Yes, I have a concept.
All right. One of Juanita's contacts spoke with a man who delivered a group of hostages into James Stenbeck's hands shortly after
That was your last unsubstantiated rumor.
And I would say that this ring substantiates it, wouldn't you? Now, that same man told this contact of ours that one of those hostages was a young American woman.
Stenbeck's dead. So who's giving the orders?
If she's alive, I've got to get her out of there.
Craig, I'll tell you the same thing I told you last time. If you want to get information, the best way to do it is to continue contributing money to our search.
So?
Well, Dr. Gunther's taking some blood samples for a test, but we won't get the results back for a week.
Well, what exactly are they looking for?
Well, they're going to be checking the alpha-fetoprotein level, which indicates whether there's any abnormalities in the fetus.
Well, I'm happy to report our patient's in good spirits and resting comfortably.
Well, that's good news, isn't it?
And the contractions have stopped. That's a good sign.
When can she have visitors?
Well, it depends on how the night goes. I would say the earliest would be tomorrow afternoon. But I did tell her that there was a group of very concerned people in the hallway, and she seemed grateful. Which one's Mr. Harrington?
I am.
Last thing she said to me was for you to go home and get some rest. She's very concerned about you. I'll keep in touch.
Okay, Doctor. You know, Mark is going through a lot right now, and considering what I saw at the castle earlier, maybe it's better if, you know, you wait somewhere else, okay?
Yeah, Duncan, why don't we leave now?
All right, Lila, please call me if there's any change in her condition.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
will.
Thank you.
Oh, good night, Mark.
Good night. Why do I think you had something to do with their leaving?
Oh.
Thanks.
Well, you have enough to worry about without having to contend with Duncan, you know. Well, I'm going to check in on Shannon. I guess there's no point in my trying to convince you to go home and get some rest, huh?
Nope. Listen, Lila, I would just go crazy. I figure if I'm going to walk the floors, I might as well do it here, Ray. Also, it just makes me feel better knowing that I'm closer to her.
Yeah, I know. That's how I felt when Casey was a patient here. Well, I'll go tell her that you're here, okay?
Okay. Oh, Lila, would you also tell her that I love her?
I will. But I think she already knows that.
No, there's no way I can be in New York tomorrow. No, you'll have to handle it yourself. Don't be impertinent. I know exactly what's at stake. But the stakes are even greater here. How can I rely on you to take care of things?
All right.
I have to go. Transformation, darling, you look wonderful.
Oh, you're so polite. You really are. I was looking in my mirror on the wall. I look like a hag, but I try. All right. We all set? What time is it? We all...
Just past 11, but I don't think the lovebirds will mind.
Actually, it's marvelous having someone to spruce up for and get dressed and go out with. Thank you.
Any word from John?
No, John hasn't. He hasn't even telephoned to see if I'm alive.
But I'm here to help you now. That's the only reason I'm still in Oakdale.
It means a lot to me, it does, to hear your mellifluous voice on the other end of the phone when you call me.
Lucinda, I don't really know John, but, you know, any man who wouldn't stay as close to you as possible has to be a fool. Oh. Kiss, kiss.
We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
Hello?
Hi, Pam.
No, this is Ellie. Who's this?
Hi, Ellie. It's Jessica. Listen, is Craig over there? His service told me to give this a try.
No, actually, he had to go out. Can I take a message?
Sure. Would you tell him that he doesn't need to call Tom, after all? I have the information that Tom and I had been working on for him, and I thought he'd want to know right away.
Jessica, if this is about declaring Sierra legally dead, he may not want to proceed.
I don't understand.
Why don't I have Craig call you when he gets back, and I'll let him explain it. Good night, Jessica. What'd you find out about Sierra?
I wanted to give you this before the old folks got here.
Oh, boy. Derek, it's beautiful.
You like it?
It's this beautiful ring.
Well, since you didn't get a proper engagement ring, I thought this would be a good substitute. Here. It fits.
It's perfect.
I like the fact that it's one of a kind, like you. Have I told you how much I love you in the last 5 minutes?
Well, 6 or 7, maybe.
For thy sweet love remembered, such wealth brings that I should scorn to change my state with kings.
Is that Shakespeare's sonnets?
Yes, why?
I didn't want to bring this up earlier, but I heard you on the phone with Karen when you asked her why she sent that rare book of sonnets, and you sounded like you were angry with her.
Well, I just thought it was inappropriate of a business associate to send me something so personal. Let's see what Dolan got you.
Key?
Read the card.
Key? What? Dear Lily, I know you appreciate old things and fine workmanship as much as I do. So when I found this, I thought of you. I had it fitted to the front door of the cottage. Hope your birthday is happy. Best wishes, Jeff. That is so sweet.
As long as it's not the key to his heart.
All right, we're here. We're late preparing this. Happy birthday, my sweetheart.
Look what Derek got me.
Oh,
Oh, it's charming. Business is all right, right?
Happy birthday, Madame.
Happy birthday to you,
That's
Tonio.
really lovely, isn't it? You know, Derek, next time you're looking for antique rings, you must get in touch with me.
Here. I saw it in a shop window in New York, and I just had to have it.
And I'm crazy about it. I am. Come here.
Come on, I want you to open mine.
Mom. Has
Yes,
anything
sweetheart.
happened with John?
John? No, I haven't heard him at all. Obviously, he isn't interested in what I do.
Turn that damn thing down. How can you hear anybody at the door when the music's so loud?
Hey, Pop. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing here so late?
Oh, I was driving by. I saw the lights are on. I thought I'd see what you guys are up to.
Well, Andy's in the shower, and I was just working out. Hey, you want a soda?
Yeah, good. That'd be great.
I usually... Oh, hi, Dad. What are you doing here so late?
Hey, Andrew.
What's up?
I just wanted to see what you guys were up to, what was going on here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pop. There are no clean glasses.
I told you to do the dishes.
I'm sorry, man. I forgot. Maybe I can hire Eunice to work here part-time. How's that? Speaking of which, miss the mansion, Pop?
Oh, well, now that I'm out of it, I don't think I was ever really the mansion type.
Yeah, me either. You know, the thought of Lucy prancing around there all by herself gives me the willies.
Did you talk to her?
No, exactly. So what'd you guys do to me?
I hung out here to help some pictures. And, would you go sell her?
Yeah, sell her.
Oh, yeah, you took these, Andy.
Yeah.
There's one of me there.
Ah, yeah. What's she doing in here?
I think that's one of my best ones.
You ought to burn that.
Look, Dad, it's my photograph, and it's my place, and if you don't like it, please leave.
Well, I could bloody well use a drink. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'll take a brandy. Mind if I use your phone? I want to call my service and see if there's any news about Buddy.
It's right there.
Yeah, Jessica Griffin checking in.
There you go.
Thanks.
I love Shannon with all my heart. Her pain is my pain. Her loss, my loss. I know I've no right to ask for myself, but I'm asking for her. Please protect her and the unborn child.
You know, you really ought to pack this painting up. Stop torturing yourself.
Well, perhaps I can't have Shannon back the way we once were, but I can't cut her out of my life completely.
I've never loved anybody that way. In a way, I envy you.
Don't. All my love for Shannon has ever cost either of us is pain. You know, it's ironic. Every decision I made, every action I took was for Shannon's protection and happiness. All I managed to do was make her miserable and put her life in jeopardy.
Well, I happen to know differently. I mean, you risked your life to find Earl's body in Alexandria. You've spent months tracking James and Lilith just
Now, that
to
was
protect...
another bloody failure. I managed to let myself be taken in by that punk Buddy. I got him so he could stay at the castle, and then he turns out to be Stenbeck's contact. How dumb can I be?
Duncan, you don't know that for certain.
Jessica, what other possible explanation
Look,
is
okay,
there?
I am not going to let you spend another night beating up on yourself. Now, in spite of what you say, you happen to be a very caring, warm human being. I don't know many men who could love a woman the way you love Shannon.
Well, it'll take every ounce of bloody love I have to stay away from her. I just hope Harrington loves her half as much as I do.
Well, how is she?
She's sleeping, which is what I wish you would go home and do.
Lila, I told you I want to be here just in case she wakes up and needs me for anything.
You really love her, don't you?
Want to know something? I remember when I first came here to Oakdale, I told Shannon that it was going to be a long time before I was going to ever trust myself to fall in love with anybody again. Just come out of a divorce with my wife. Realized I never even knew that woman after 6 years of marriage. That's pretty scary stuff. Then I came here and I realized I never knew a lot about my brother either. Certainly enough cause to make you not trust your judgment. But then I met Shannon. I don't know what it was, but something in that woman, she just reinstilled my belief in myself and other people. You know, I never would have planned it, but I fell in love with her like it was just the easiest, most natural thing in the world. Now I can't even imagine my life without her. I just hope Shannon and that baby's gonna be okay.
Mark, the doctors are doing everything that they can. But you know, your love and support, that's the best medicine Shannon can get right now.
Yeah, well, I hope so. Because I just want a chance to make her and that baby as happy as she's made me.
Hey, Buster, you missed one.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
God, why does he want all these pictures of Julie around here? It's just a reminder. I wouldn't think you'd want a reminder around here.
It doesn't really bother me. How come it bothers you so much?
Because she's a tart, and I almost lost a son because of her. Maybe Andy ought to know the real story. She faked a pregnancy to try to get you to marry her. Then we found out she really was pregnant by some other guy.
Oh, come on, Pop. What's the reason to keep bad-mouthing her? She's gone. He's never going to see her again.
Well, I better put these away before you blow another fuse.
Look, Andrew, I just am concerned about you. You're such a soft-hearted guy. I don't want you to be taken advantage of.
I'm not gonna be. Look, you told Tom you had no right telling Leanne Duke was off limits. Now you're doing the same thing with me. Let's just change the subject, you know.
School coming up in a few weeks. You choose a major yet?
Yeah, I did. Fine arts, photography.
I know you like taking those pictures, Andy, and you're pretty good at it, but I didn't know you were going to make it your life's work.
Well, my advisor thinks I'm good enough to be a professional.
It's a tough business, Andrew. There's not much security there. Maybe you ought to major in something a little bit more stable. Maybe make that your hobby.
Hobby? I'm sick of you trying to control my life, Dad. It's just... First Julie and now my major?
I'll get it. Hello? Hello? That's really weird.
What?
Well, I could hear someone at the other end of the line, and when I said hello, they hung up.
Now, how can I get you to stop thinking about John?
I'm not really thinking about him. But why I should be thinking about him? I've been married to him for the past 2 years. My heavens.
It's been a long time?
Yeah. Now I have to go home all alone.
We don't have to. I mean, we never have to be all alone unless we choose to be.
Why don't you think about coming out to the house for a visit? I really like you to see all the changes we've been doing here. Great. That means I get to know my sister-in-law a little bit better, that's all. Yes, thanks for the phone call and the birthday card. Bye, Trish.
Fresh coffee. What did my darling sister want?
Just wanted to say happy birthday, and I hope you don't mind I asked her to come out for a visit.
No, but can you make it the end of the week? Because I didn't want to tell you before, but I got to go to New York on business.
Oh, Lily, go with Derek. Go to New York with Derek. What a wonderful idea. Yes, you can have a hot New York second honeymoon.
I'm having a wonderful honeymoon right here.
Oh, darling, I'm glad you're going to New York. I think it would be wonderful. You can go to the theater. You can shop. You can go eat.
Are you trying to get rid of me?
No, darling, but I have to admit that I'm worried about you being out here all alone. I was wearing Sierra's ring. I wish I could show it to you, but I gave it to Craig, so I can't.
I don't know why you think James Stenbeck's men are holding Sierra captive. I just don't.
I know it, darling, in my heart. You know, I hate it. I hate it that she would be at the mercy of a madman like Stenbeck.
You talk like you think he's still alive.
Lucinda, we had such a good time riding today. I was wondering if we could come out tomorrow and ride again.
No, not tomorrow.
Why not?
Oh, because I've given Mr. Chavez a project, and he won't have accomplished it yet.
Hello? Yeah. Yes, she is. Just hang on 1 minute, please. Lucinda, it's for you. It's Mr. Chavez.
What?
Tell him I still think his Portuguese accent sounds phony.
Fred, Brock Lombard is threatening to break his contract with me. I want you to go over that contract and see if there's any way we can hold him to it legally. Yes, I know the security fees are high, but they're necessary. I'm expecting some money soon from Craig and Lucinda for the search for Sierra. We can divert some of those funds. Fred, please, would you stop worrying? It's all right. Yes. Yes, I'll talk to you in the morning. Goodbye. Well, that was my lawyer. He says he's making progress on your green card.
Oh, thank you. I'll arrange a place for Senor Walters to sleep now. Senor Tonio, why didn't you tell Senor Craig the truth about Sierra's ring?
The truth? What is the truth, Bianca? I have information now that may prove that Sierra is alive, and yet I can't share it with anyone for risk of endangering her life. Yet Craig and Lucinda want proof, so yes, I will use the wedding ring to convince them not to give up hope. I know you have doubts about that ring, about whether Sierra is alive, but you have to keep those doubts to yourself. If you were to share them with Craig or Lucinda now, it would be very bad. It would destroy their faith in me, and worse yet, their belief that Sierra is alive.
It would be wonderful if it were true. Almost too good to hope for.
Yes, but we can't give up hope, can we? I'm going to tell Walters it's time for him to turn in. Walters? Walters, are you here? Walters!
Is something wrong?
I don't know. Walters never leaves his post without telling me, and yet he's not here.
Craig's been in there a long time. Is everything okay with Bryant?
Yeah, I think everything's okay. Just needs to spend some time with him. It's his only bond with Sierra.
Mama's not back yet.
Oh, no. Craig, she called and she told me to tell you that she's going to be sleeping at the hospital in case Shannon needs her.
How was Shannon?
So far, so good.
Look, I better take off. It's almost midnight. I got to get up real early.
Yeah, oh, do you want to come in and get the sweatshirt that you lent me?
Okay, yeah.
Craig, I thought that the conversation you had with Lucinda would make you feel better, and it hasn't.
Lucinda's convinced that Sierra's alive. Well, the ring is certainly not any proof. When Lily was in Montega, she talked with somebody who said that she saw it taken off the body of an executed prisoner. When I talked to Tonio, he had the same fear that I picked up on before.
Caleb, can I bum a ride home with you, please?
Yeah, sure. I'll just, I'll get the car and bring it around front.
Okay.
Night, Craig.
Good night.
You never did explain why the stableman called you at the cottage.
Oh, free spirit. My daughter Sierra's horse, bad leg. So I had to give him the vet's telephone number. As a matter of fact, I've dispatched Matthew down there to interpret and take the telephone number.
Does that mean we're alone?
I think so.
Would you know what? Come here.
What?
I think we should pick up right where we left off. What do you think?
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh. Matthew.
Excuse me, I didn't realize.
Well, how did it go? I mean, is everything fine? You got the
Everything's
vet's telephone
fine.
number?
Yes, he's on his way.
Excellent. Anybody call or anything? Did Dr. Dixon call me?
No, I haven't spoken to him since he was here about an hour ago.
What?
Well,
What do you mean he was here?
Well, yes, he arrived just before you and Mr. Mason were leaving for Miss Lily's. He said he was here to talk to you. I assumed he went to look for you.
Oh, well, that's damned odd because I haven't set eyes on the man.
Mark?
Yeah.
You have a phone call from Dan Gibson. He said it's very important. Why don't you use the house phone? Call the operator. She'll transfer the call up here.
Yeah, this is Mark Harrington. I was just told I had a phone call. Dan, yeah, what's going on? What? Well, how long ago was this? Is he still there? No, you did the right thing. But keep me posted, would you? That's weird.
Well, what happened?
Well, Woody and Hey You took over Buddy's room after he left, and they were getting ready to go to bed when they heard a noise. Dan said they caught Buddy sneaking in through the secret passageway, and they tried to talk to him, but he panicked and ran off. So he's got the guards still searching the island.
Do you think you should notify the police?
Yeah, actually, I should probably do that right now, because you know something? If they find Buddy, they just might get the answers that Duncan's been looking for.
Don't you think you've had enough for one night?
Jessica, all the bloody scotch in the warehouse couldn't make me numb enough. Care for another?
No, thanks. As a matter of fact, I think I should be going home.
Let me walk you to your car.
Oh, no, that won't be necessary. Why don't you go to bed and try to get some sleep?
Sleep? How can I sleep when my life is shambles?
You really worry me when you talk like that.
Oh, it's nice to know someone cares enough to worry. Jessica, you know, you're a very fine and very beautiful woman. I don't know what I would have done without you all this time. I think I'd like you to stay with me tonight.
Duncan,
Stay tuned for Guiding Light, next on most of the CBS stations. Fashions by Betsy Johnson. Join us tomorrow for As the World Turns.
This is CBS.